Shalom, Makim. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, Great Millstone, who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the earth, and also the brothers to teach word of sincerity. This is the brother Iwan Lamia from GMS Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson. To discuss this article, which just came out not too long ago. How they're basically requiring a third I'm gonna just say a third water boost. I'm gonna just put it like that, third water boost. Those two waters that they're administrating towards the, to the people. They're basically saying it's not going to be enough. But you're going to have these ships line up anyway to go line up to take the third water boost. But with that being said, this from the NPR, it says Moderna has asked the FDA to authorize a boost of its Crown Royal water. It says a third dose of the Moderna water given 6 months after the initial 2 doses significantly boost immunity, which is all BS. The things that grows out of the earth, like different herbs and things like that. Supplements that come from the earth, those are considered, different things you take for your body to basically give you natural immunity. The Lord already, gives us natural immunity, because speaking for myself, just to say, I haven't been sick with anything in a very long time. So why would I need, or why would anybody needs a water shot just to protect you from something that's, has a 99% recovery rate, which makes no sense, but I'm not going to ramble too long about it, because I'm not trying to get this video flagged and take it down, by these devils. It says, according to the data the company submitted to the Food and Drug Administration on Wednesday, the data comes from 344 volunteers who got an additional dose of the water as part of the clinically study. Antibodies have 1 to 6 months after the water nation, the company said. But at the same time, I also want to add that people like Moderna, White House staff, Johnson & Johnson, I said Moderna, FDA, all these different people are, don't have to take the water boost, So it basically, goes on to show you that something is up, but they want you to take it. You gotta really think of it like this. If it's so bad as they say it is, why are they not taking it? Why is these high officials not taking it? If they say it's bad as they say it is, coming out with these different variants, that you see on the news, quote unquote. It says antibodies had 1 to 6 months after the water nation, the company said, but the third boosted antibodies to an even higher point, which is a lie, than was seen after the initial you get it. Even though the boost was just half the original dose, the increased protection was achieved across age groups, notably in older adults ages 65 and above. And now they're trying to target children with this, water boost now. It says Moderna made an announcement in the press release, but the research has not yet been peer reviewed. But with that being said, I'm gonna come back to the article. I'm gonna just read a little bit more of the article, but I just want to get into some precepts. A precept that I always get into, it says Ecclesiastes 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. But who are our enemies? Who are our adversaries? The so-called white man. These other nations also are our enemies, but our main adversary, that we have been warring against since the beginning is the so-called white man. The Edomites. Going back to Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. It says Ecclesiastes 12:10, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And we have a lot of our people, 2/3 of our people, mainly trust our enemy, because going back to, I believe, it's Isaiah the 30th chapter, I believe going to the first verse a little bit on down, how our people trust, in the shadow of Egypt. Our people trust our enemies. That's why they're going to perish. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. I'm going to give you an example, based off this verse. You have Dr. Fauci, who basically has a past of, going back to I believe the late 90s of, these guys building the case on Dr. Fauci, and he's basically telling you to take a third water boost shot. A third water booster. That's why the Lord, this is why it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Meaning you have to examine his character. Esau Edom's past, you really have to go into his past. Going back to the whole syphilis experiment that was brought upon our people. Going all the way back to the Native American Indians where they were, given smallpox by the so-called white man. These are things we need to take heed of. This is the book of Job 9-24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? Right, the earth is given into the wicked, which is the so-called white man. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right, going back to how they, during the Dark Ages, how they basically destroyed dark-skinned images, repainted, dark-skinned images and different things like that. If not, wherein who is he? Right, if the so-called white man is not the wicked, who is it? It's kind of funny how a lot of people always bring up Ishmael, the so-called Arabs. A lot of people says that, but the so-called Ishmaelites, or not the so-called Ishmaelites, the so-called Arab Salakia, they don't have a track record like the so-called white man does. It's evident that the so-called white man comes from Esau Edom. That's his biblical nationality. And based off the history of the world, it's nobody that causes major destruction than the so-called white man. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We know who that is. He's the one that's trying to, give everybody the water boost. And a lot of people was being casualties of it. This is the man that's doing it. So I'm gonna read a little bit more of the article. It says the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have already recommended a third dose of both the PFAS and the Moderna waters for some immunocompromised people. Meanwhile, health officials are already preparing to roll out Crown Royal boosts according to a plan announced by the White House on August 18th. The plan calls for all adults who receive I'm gonna just say both waters to be eligible for additional 8 months from when they got their second one, right? So they basically telling the people to get a third water booster. I'm gonna just put it like that, Going back to Ecclesiastes, I'm talking to our people right now. You so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Don't trust your enemy. Put all your faith, trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because the Lord tell us to have faith in Him. And that's what we out to do, is have faith. And sooner or later, this is all leading up to Revelation 13 and 16. You're not going to be able to work or do none of those things. That's why it's the time to put all your time, effort, and energy, into Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Speaking to myself first and foremost. Yeah, I'm going to end it off with this one. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:3. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come up upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, they're speaking about peace and safety right now, because quote unquote of the whole water boosters or different things like that. Basically telling you, saying that it's going to basically build up your immunity and different things like that. But it's going to be evident that a lot of people are going to perish because of that. Then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, sudden destruction is going to come from this. Like I said before, a lot of people are going to perish, and a lot of people are going to become casualties because of this third water booster. And this is just the beginning. So Lord, want to hope this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Hashem, Rakagadash. Double honors to the elders and our apostles of Great Millstone, talking this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the earth, and also the brothers and teachers who are in sincerity. Lord, want to hope this is edifying, and Lord, want to come back on another lesson soon. Shalom.